this is a while ago now, but we watched the Napoleon movie and it was very anticipated. Jackson, just give me your thoughts on the Napoleon movie after watching it.
Very solid movie. Very solid. Probably 7. I used to say 7.2. Now I'm probably going to say 7.5, 7.6.
You're saying the Napoleon movie is a 7.5?
Yeah.
You got to explain.
Your problem is
no, just explain it. You don't even know my answer yet.
Yeah, I do. We talked about
we did this last year. Just explain it though.
The Napoleon movie, it's not just about. First of all, Joaquin Phoenix is awesome in everything he does, but it's like the scenes, like the war scenes, that like the logistics behind those huge scenes, those massive scenes, like where it looks like there's at least 1,000 people, like. And for them to direct that and logistically, it's just a logistical nightmare. Yeah. And they're able to do it, and they do it in a couple of different war scenes. And I know what you're going to say and why you don't like it because they didn't show certain things that you wanted to see in it. But minus that, I thought it was an awesome movie. And I know how you don't like how the ex-wife was so involved in it. But when you look deeper into that, like, all they have from Napoleon is probably all those letters he used to write to him. That's why it's probably such a big deal in that movie. Like the letters he would write to his wife or ex-wife and the letters she would write back while he's off at war. Those are like his first accounts of him being at war somewhere or like being in a camp ready to invade something. That's why I think they made it such a big deal. And when you look deeper into it, it's awesome how they did that.
Okay. So you're going to say 7.5?
Yeah, maybe even 7.6.
My original answer was a 6.8.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a 6.4. Because, okay.
I don't even care.
Let me give Dude, you just gave your explanation. Let me have my fucking time.
Nobody cares.
Let me have my time. Okay. 6.4. Let me give you the reason.
He gives a 6.4 movie to a movie that's going to win an Oscar.
Okay. Well, a lot of people don't like the Joker, and that won an Oscar. I'm going to say this right now. I think the extended version that's like 4.5 hours, I think that one's actually, it's probably the movie's way better, but no one has 4.5 hours to watch the film, so they had to condense a lot of it down and like shrink a lot of things. So you can't show his entire history of like what he did. But I get the role of Hollywood of like making it seem like Napoleon wasn't a good guy, right? Like he was a guy who wanted to take over Europe, so you have to paint him in a light that's negative. I get that too.
But they didn't even totally negatively paint him in a bad light.
They made him seem like a cock a little bit. I mean, he probably was, that was the main point of it.
Dude, if you read like first accounts about Napoleon and stuff like that, like he's a human. Like he's not some stoic character, some Viking that you'd think of. Like he's a guy in the 1800s, like going to war with 100,000 people against a huge army. Like it's innate that you're gonna have fear. Any human has fear. If you don't have fear, then there's something wrong with you.
Okay. Yeah,
and they painted that really well in that movie, especially in that first scene. We started laughing when he's like freaking out.
Yeah. Okay. I like the scene where he was in Egypt and like he was looking at the tomb and he like gets the stool because he's so conscious about his height. He stands up, acts tall.
Yeah, and like just stares him in the eyes, and everybody's like, "What?"
Then puts a little Napoleon hat over the tomb.
That was cool.
Over the emperor.
That was cool.
You know, it was cool. Joaquin Phoenix is great. I know we already, dude. God damn it! I feel like we're doing the same podcast over and over.
No, we're not going to keep talking about everything we talked about last.
But okay. Time. Leonardo DiCaprio should have been Napoleon.
Yeah, well, if Leonardo got deep, like that's what we said last time. If Leo got deep into it, like he did for Django,
yeah, like that's believable.
Get out of here, dude.
Like
get out of here. If that was Leo playing that, he would have got. He definitely would have had a Napoleon with a French accent.
I think I would have liked it. I honestly, just because it was Joaquin Phoenix.
Because you're such a Leo guy.
I'm a Leo guy. I like Joaquin Phoenix too. He was great in Gladiator. The same director who directed Gladiator directed this movie.
I didn't even know Joaquin Phoenix was in Gladiator.
Dude, he's Maximus.
He's
not Maximus. He's the emperor.
Butler. Oh yeah, he's the
no, not Butler.
He's the second emperor. No, Gerard Butler was the Maximus.
Motherfucker, you're so wrong right now. It's not Gerard Butler. It's Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah, Russell Crowe. I think Gerard Butler is Russell Crowe. I get them mixed up.
Gerard Butler's 300. It's the same. Yeah.
No, but I get those. They look the same to me too. I always get their names mixed up. But Joaquin Phoenix was the son of the emperor.
Yeah.
And then he became the emperor.
We're talking about the movie Gladiator. Joaquin Phoenix is the son of Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. Okay.
So it's like the 5 great emperors of Rome.
I might watch that tonight.
So the 5 great emperors of Rome. It's like 5 consecutive emperors of Rome, where it was like the peak of
where they
Roman's
were just
power.
taking over all the land.
Rome's power, yes.
Yeah.
And then he comes into power, and he's like the decline of it. That's where it starts to go.
Yeah.
Right. He's not stoic like his dad. He wasn't he wasn't willing to relinquish power like his dad. Yeah. He honestly, I would have liked it better if that character played Napoleon. Like that, the way he played that character in Gladiator, if you were to insert that into Napoleon, where you show like an actual like vicious side of Napoleon, like a dude that was just so relentless and just like was never gonna like.
But they did
give up land.
You're just, I think
they didn't show that part.
They
side
did
of him.
though, but I think your image of Napoleon is just skewed to what the actual Napoleon was like, because they did that. Like, what about when they're in Moscow and they start burning it down and he goes, I can't believe this guy would rather burn his own city than talk to me. We marched to St. Petersburg, and everybody, all his generals are like, no, dude, he is relentless. It's just in a different way than you're thinking he is. Like, he's not just a savage, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
It's just in a different light. Like,